Ignition liftoff. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have liftoff.
Today I'm joined by the amazing Bryony Basse, founder of Pilates By Bryony, the app with a global community and hundreds of on-demand classes. Bryony has built a brand that is as much about business growth as it is about well-being, and I can't wait to dive into just how she's done it. She's also a very good friend of mine, so let's find out why she's a lady who launched. Right, before we get into it, if you like this episode, which I know you're going to, please don't forget to like and subscribe and to share it to your group chat. I'm so pleased that we're getting to do this. This is actually a bit weird. Because normally if I want to know something, I just call you.
I know, but you're going to have to pretend you know nothing.
But what is interesting is how often do you actually get to sit down and talk to your friend about every detail of what they've done? Because I think you kind of are with people alongside journeys, or I met you at a certain point, and a lot of that, and we've never sort of stripped it back and deep dived into it fully. So I am excited. I always start these conversations in the same way because I really think that we find out so much about ourselves as founders, as entrepreneurs, as women, way back when. It's so funny that I'll have these incredible conversations and it will always go back to, that's because I was like that when I was younger. Yeah. And it's really, I love connecting the dots. So let's talk about your earliest entrepreneurial memory.
Ooh, okay. So I feel like I've lived so many different lives, and at the time, it wasn't as if I thought, I'm an entrepreneur.
Do we ever feel like that
I don't know. No.
Something that gets put on you, isn't
exactly.
it? And you're like, I am.
But actually, when I look back, there is quite a common thread where I just really was so excited by business and also kind of providing a service that made people feel more confident.
Right.
So I don't even think you know this, but I had a beauty salon.
I did not know this.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a staff of one.
You?
Yes. But I had a beauty salon on the side. Well, not on the side of my house, literally. I turned my dining room into a salon because it had a separate entrance onto the garden.
Right.
And I used to do all sorts of treatments. So everything from spray tans to waxing facials.
I did not know. This explains so much to me because you're always so good at knowing what the treatments are. And
you're so sweet.
No way.
Yeah, so I actually did that when I was really young. So I think maybe around 20, something like that. So I was quite young at the time.
But it's like you say, it's the same thread of making women feel the best versions of themselves.
And I absolutely loved it. And people would go away and message me and be like, I feel so good. Even just small things like having a tan or, fresh nails. And I loved that relationship with the client. So now as I look back, it's funny that I kind of am doing similar now.
Yeah.
But even just I love the independence it gave me. I had a boyfriend at the time that was a few years older than me. And I remember I was like the breadwinner and I felt so good about it. I was like, don't worry, I booked this holiday for both of us. I was like, I've got this.
Yeah.
And I just always loved that independence. And I think that's something my mum always instilled in me.
Well, let's talk about prior to then.
Yeah.
So the little Bryony. Where did you grow up? Where were you? And tell me a bit about your parents and how that time looked.
Yeah, so my parents are just the best.
The cutest.
Oh
They're
my
so
God.
I can't.
They're so cute and they're just so supportive and so much fun. So yeah, I feel really grateful with my parents. My dad actually works with me full time. My mum, I did try and employ her, but she was like, I just want to be your mum. I never want it to cross that line.
It's a valid point.
Yeah, and I mean, she'll help me out if I need her, whenever, but she never wanted to have that relationship. But I grew up in not far from Brighton, so West Sussex, and just, I mean, I guess everyone feels their childhood was really normal because it's just your normal, whatever it was. So we just, you know, my parents both worked really hard, and I have like really early memories of my mum in particular juggling so many things. Like she always wanted to be the mum that would drive me to school or be at a sports game or whatever, but I remember her doing like conference calls from the car, and it would be like the middle of winter and she'd be freezing cold in the car for like 3 hours doing her back-to-back calls just so she could drive me to school. And so I really remember things like that. And it was just quite a normal upbringing, you know, like we had our one holiday a year, and that for a long time was a caravan holiday in Scotland, which
How good are caravan holidays?
Honestly, they are still now the best memories.
Core memories.
And they're just so great. And so I guess, that was kind of my childhood. And I've got a brother who's a couple of years older than me. And we just really saw our parents being quite a good team, but also really being very independently happy, if that makes sense. So they were really going for their own dreams at the same time as being this kind of family partnership. So
which is so important that you get to witness that and kind of soak that up too. And it's something that always, as a parent, puts you in a bit of a moral dilemma, because I want my kids to see me going for it, because I want them to think that anything's possible and the world is their oyster. But then equally, I think by doing that, sometimes there are sacrifices along the way. And I'm the mum that is like, you know, driving. Marvin does the dance club run, and then I do the paddle run for a layer, and then I've got, like, it's kind of, the juggle is so real that I will be on like a Zoom call in the car on the way while they're having their snack on their way to club, and I'm sort of watching it like, go sweetie, whilst on a Zoom on my laptop, you know. And it's kind of, you want to make it all happen. And I love to hear you say that, because at times you feel a little bit guilty, like, I wish I was maybe a bit more present. But you're just spinning lots of plates, right, majority of the time.
And also, well, firstly, now having a baby in the next couple of months, I'm going to be coming to you for all the tips on all these things, because
I'm still figuring it out, girl.
Well, me and Casper have the same conversations, because we're like, how, you know, what are our values in raising kids together, and how do we want it to look, and how do we want to, you know, what do we want to instill in them? And I think one of the things that my parents really gave us was work ethic and that determination, that resilience. They weren't entrepreneurs, but they did give me that sense of like, you have to work hard for, you know, what you
want in life, of course. And then I think there's also, which is interesting, you know, when you have, like, Casper and yourself worked really hard, but you're perhaps more fortunate, and this is the same with me, than my mum was for me raising me, and we've got more financial freedom than they have. How do I teach them that level of graft and that level of work ethic? Because everything for them is going to be relatively comfortable. So I want to make sure that their values are like, we work hard for what we, and it's still kind of instilling that in the same way, but knowing that they've got a lovely home, and they, you know, and their life does look very different to mine. So it's kind of making sure they're super grounded. But also that's what you work for, right? Is to be able to give them opportunity. So it's a bit of a kind of, it's a bit chicken and egg, really.
And nothing makes you happier than being able to do things for your family, or whether it be your kids or your parents and things. But you want to try and keep that. But I mean, you've done such a good job with your kids. They're all so kind. I think that's a really important thing.
And that's such a big value, isn't it?
I think kindness, confidence, and work ethic, I would say.
That's what.
And work ethic / independence.
Yes.
Because you don't want them to rely on you. I mean, I'm coming at this from Mother of the Year, and I've not even had a baby yet. But this is what this is my aim.
But it's incredible that you're I was so young when I fell pregnant with Alea, but I didn't even think of, this wasn't even a conversation that I was having then. I kind of was learning on the job. So it is so brilliant.
You were growing up yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's brilliant that you're thinking that ahead of time. I think it is, like you say, kindness and those values are so important, and independence is a big one too. What I want to talk about, kind of discovering what felt right to you. So you were working in treatments, you had the beauty salon at home, and then although the values are the same, what you do now is completely different. So tell me about your journey after that moment.
Oh my gosh. So I've done so many different jobs. I always say this, like, what's that expression? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Oh, I'm with you, girl.
It took me a really long time to find, you know, whether you want to call it your purpose or your passion or whatever. It did take me time, but I think that time is a good thing because you pick and you choose different lessons from different eras of your life.
It has a click, doesn't it? Yeah. I watched something the other day, and I can't remember who it was that was speaking, and he said something, and I thought, God, that is it. You know when you've found, because he was saying, people ask for my advice, and they say, how do I know that I found my thing? Like, I quite like this, I quite like that. How do I know it's the thing for me? And he said, your thing it's something that comes easy to you, but it's hard for most.
Oh,
so it's almost like you kind of do it with ease, but most people can't get their head around how you do what you do.
It's interesting because I think the Pilates itself, like, I could teach you with genuinely my eyes closed, not seeing you, and I could take you through a class and know that I was somehow connecting to you and your body, because I just feel it's like in my fiber
in your DNA.
But it's what's quite cool is then applying that to a business where you do have to then, like, yes, the Pilates comes easy to me, but the whole business side of things,
it's a different beast.
Oh my gosh, it's not natural. So you're learning every single day, and I think that's such an exciting thing
because it keeps your brain awake at the same time. So you're doing what comes easy, but there's that whole other side of it that is constant work.
Yeah, which I really love to kind of understand how, you know, for the fitness industry, it's so hard to, I think the biggest problem people have is they don't feel motivated. Like, oh, how do you get motivation? Yes. And there's this kind of conversation behind motivation and discipline. And I think if we all waited to feel motivated, we wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
We would be waiting a long time. But that discipline carries you through. And I think not only in the workouts and things, I really enjoy finding ways to motivate or discipline people through the app. But I find for myself, it's an interesting discipline having the business side of the Pilates.
That's so interesting, because like you say, if you're back to basics and you're kind of renting a studio, which is obviously still a business, but you're seeing people every day, and of course you can teach those classes and you know someone's body with your eyes closed, but actually the other side of it, it is a full business, which we'll dig into. At what point did you really discover your love for Pilates? Because for you, it's a really kind of, it's a situation that spiked that real sort of organic journey. I suppose you didn't ever think you'd be sat here being the founder of, you know, an incredible app.
Yeah.
So tell me about when you first discovered Pilates and how that looked.
Yeah, so hopefully this inspires someone that is maybe going through a hard time or a challenging time, because sometimes those times can be the most powerful life-changing moments. And for me, it was having a car accident. So I had a car accident when I was 17, 18. I think I'd just turned 18. And it basically really like took everything out of me. I had to be rushed to hospital. I was on a spinal board, neck brace, all these different things, taking tramadol, which is a really strong painkiller. And
addictive.
Yeah.
Really addictive,
when I came off of tramadol, I could not sleep a second. I was wired all night. I had lost so much weight. It was a real low point. I then was put on antidepressants to help me sleep. It was this whole thing. And then I discovered this doctor who introduced me to this form of rehab for my body, which would heal my body, which he believed would heal my body, which later I realized was classical Pilates. So I was going into the hospital to have these treatments.
But you didn't...
I didn't know.
Also, Pilates
it wasn't a thing then.
It's also a trend now too. You get these wellness girlies, and of course it's such a deep practice and it's such an art form, but it is now a trend too, right?
Yeah, it's really cool. I think it's so cool that it is so trendy because it gets so many people
it's amazing.
on it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like what I love about Pilates is the nerdy side of it. I love to really, like I love teaching you, for example, and the practice of it and the precision and the form and everything, and going real deep on the nerdy side of the mind
I know,
body.
and she does. She's like, I'm like, I didn't think, breathe, hold here, do this, move. I'm like, oh my gosh.
But it's crazy,
it makes
the
such
difference.
A difference.
It makes such a difference. And so that's what I'm really passionate about. But thanks to this doctor that made me discover it, because as we said, it wasn't a thing then.
No.
So I was literally going in to the hospital to do my Pilates classes.
That's how kind of niche it was at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And then just being young and naive, I thought, oh, great, I'm healed now. And then at the time, it was kind of more HIIT workouts, and like the whole media thing around working out and eating healthy. It was during like diet culture. Do you remember like magazines would be like,
oh please, I was on them.
Some of the worst headlines.
You'd go
like,
on holiday and it'd be like, Rochelle shows off new curves. I'm like, I was on holiday.
Oh yeah, give me a break.
Yeah, it was all that sort of culture of papping people on a beach.
Yeah, and really kind of exposing people, but making them feel so vulnerable, and that's just horrible. And whereas now I love how it's much more empowering and much more supportive,
positive messaging rather than then.
So at the time, I think where there was such a focus on diet culture and like how to drop a dress size and all of these can you imagine some of these huge brands were doing TV ads on eat this and you're going to drop a dress, get your jeans, get into your jeans.
And it was like, have a bowl of this. I'm like,
of
course you're going to lose weight if you have a bowl of cereal
only that. Exactly.
It's like rocket science.
It's so sad that was a thing. But I also think it was a real moment of like, to work out and to feel good, you have to torture yourself. You have to just get through the workout.
It was the boot camps and that idea of having an idea of that personal trainer was like, I'm going to absolutely kill you on this session.
I remember actually my brother was like practicing, one of his friends was practicing being a trainer, and the whole like narrative was like, basically, if my brother wasn't on the edge of being sick by the end of this workout, it wasn't a good workout. So it was definitely at that time. So I was then going into that. I was like doing the HIIT workouts, doing this, doing that. And
right. So you thought you'd almost healed yourself by having the treatment.
Exactly.
Now I'm ready for
fine.
Barry's boot camp.
Exactly.
Energy. Yeah.
And then I just wasn't seeing any results in my body. I was feeling so stressed, so puffy. I also, not long after the car accident, was diagnosed with arthritis, which again was not really something anyone in there at the symptoms.
And was that on set to the accident? Was it correlated to that?
No, so it can be hereditary.
Right.
So I mean, some people might argue the trauma then would cause it, but I don't think it was anything to do with the accident. But it definitely showed me that I have high levels of inflammation in my body as it is at like rest.
Yes.
So it was kind of like an interesting journey of then I always found myself going back to Pilates, like whether it was to heal my body or to kind of focus on having like mindfulness in my day or de-stress, or if I was going through any bad moment, I'd always find myself going back to that, and it would always help me. We talk about this all the time, like if you can get out of it, get into your body and get out of your head.
Oh my gosh, that's for me is the most special thing. I think obviously like the exterior and the benefits, we do all feel better when we look better, or whatever that is for us. But for me, the mental, the time of day that I just cannot think about anything else because you're busy telling me that I've got to hold this and do, but it's so good, like, because I can't, there's no time to sort of go, what have I done? What do the kids need? Who needs me at work? There's that hour is literally for you.
Definitely.
And I love that.
And even if you can't fit an hour in, like even just 15 minutes makes you feel more for the rest of the day. You feel like, okay, I've done something for myself. So I feel so lucky that this is what I'm able to do for my job. So
when you then sort of keep getting pulled back to Pilates, like the thing that isn't going anywhere, when do you make that decision to train as an instructor? Because loving something and
making it your career.
Yeah, attending class is very, very different to thinking, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. So before lockdown, I started a corporate wellness company. So we were sending therapists out to offices all over London. So we had a few like really good clients that we would send. I think we had like between 30 and 40 therapists all over London most days of the week, going in either doing like manicures and things like that in office, or meditation, Pilates, yoga. And then obviously all the offices closed. So I was like, right, back to the drawing board.
Pretty much that then.
Yeah. So then I thought, okay, maybe we can create an online version of this for people to do at home, so the offices can send it to their employees to, you know, keep their mindfulness and wellness in check whilst they're, you know, we were all in the thick of it, weren't we? So then I did that, and actually I thought, I can do this. I've been doing classical Pilates now for so long. So I had actually, whilst I had the corporate wellness company, decided to qualify in classical Pilates, and then, but just kind of as my own, almost as a backup for the others.
Yes. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, if someone phones in sick, I'll be there.
You can do it.
Yeah, and it's just a passion project. And then my mum was really ill over COVID and lockdown. So I was kind of caring for her. That was my main focus. But then afterwards, and kind of towards the end, I was like, right, I can actually start teaching this. I'm just going to give it a go. And I started on Zoom. And my first Zoom class was May 21, April 21.
And who was on that? Like, how did it
Literally
look?
10 people.
And had you sort of made an Instagram to...
No.
Like punt out to who wants to join my class, or was it people that was part of the corporate wellness service?
So that had completely closed down.
Okay.
Yeah, and it just didn't quite translate as we hoped, and it was just like not the product and that we wanted to go ahead with. But I had 10 people on that first Zoom, and it was just so... It was so scary. I was so nervous. I used to be so shy, hated public speaking, very, very, very shy, and had no inner confidence. Like externally, I think you would have thought, she's okay, she's fine, like she's confident enough. But internally, I had this constant dialogue that I wasn't enough. I had low self-worth, low self-belief. And so then I just put myself out there, and I did 10 people on this Zoom class. I had no following. I had about 4,000 people on Instagram at the time. And then it just really, after I did that first Zoom, I thought, okay, wow, I'm on such a high. I mean, it sounds so funny that it was like 10 people, but I was buzzing. Like you would have thought I had just done what you have done at the weekend in Paris.
No, but because maybe that's the moment that the light bulb goes off and you think, this is my thing.
I felt so, I mean, obviously at the beginning and the night before I didn't sleep, I was having a panic attack. But as I was going through the class, I was like, kind of, it sounds cheesy, but I was like in my stride, and the momentum was building. So then after that class, I was very conscious that if I don't keep the momentum going, I'm going to lose this moment of like a little bit of a boost of self-worth.
Yes.
So then I set myself the challenge of building this like schedule. So I put like another class up and another class. So
and how soon?
Really quite soon, because I was like, you know, I've got these 10 people. Imagine next time it's 12.
Yeah. Okay.
The world's my oyster.
No, but
so
of
then,
course, and that's how it works.
So then the next week I was like, okay, in a week's time, I'll do this again and see if people like it. And it just snowballed. So then it was once a week. Then it went to twice a week. And I started getting like consistently over 100 people on these Zoom classes, which I remember thinking during lockdown when people were doing Zoom lives and whatever, thinking...
Insta lives.
Yeah, thinking actually 100 people, if that was in a room, I would be just shocked.
We'd have to probably split it into 4 classes. Yeah.
So then I was just consistently doing this, started making like a really good income from it. And then I did the January challenge, which completely changed my life, which we had, I think, I say we, I mean me. Well, kind of we. My dad was helping out. But I had 550 people on that challenge, and they all paid £200 for a month, all in Pilates challenge. And I think where they had paid and invested so much money, they were not skipping a class. So they did 5 classes with me a week, ranging from like 15 to 45-minute classes. It was a shambles. It was so manual and on Zoom.
Well, it's all slick now, but this is learnings at the time,
you can
isn't
actually go back and see the first classes. Like, my laptop's hanging off my kitchen table. I'm on the kitchen floor
can never
in
get
my
rid of
studio. Yeah, they're still there.
Good memories.
But then I did this January challenge, and I thought, oh my God, like, this is a life-changing amount of money to me at the time.
Of course.
Like, I would have had to work like 4 years or
Yeah.
something in my last job to get what I had just gotten in a month. And also, by the end of the challenge, everyone's bodies were changing. They felt this inner confidence. Like, I felt like we were all in it together. We were all on this confidence journey. And by the end of it, everyone was just so hyped.
And knowing that you can make women, men feel more confident, so that then give you a different level of confidence in yourself. Like when you said the first time that you taught, you're up all night panicking, you know, am I going to be enough? Is this going to be okay?
Yeah.
That must then unlock a different level of confidence for you because of what these people are achieving.
Definitely. It makes me believe in what I'm giving them, and what I'm giving them is hopefully my own confidence, if you know what I mean.
They're almost sort of, they're loving it as much as you are.
Yeah,
you know,
and I'm making a difference.
Yes.
And I think that for me is the biggest part of this business, like, to know that I get these messages from people saying, you've changed my life. Like, I've gotten out of a bad relationship. I've managed to speak up at work. I've managed to speak up at home and really, you know, unlock this higher version of myself. And I'm just like, wow, do you know what? Like, the things that I used to worry about, nothing else matters than that. And also my mum being ill also kind of gave me that perspective on life. Like, at the end of the day, who cares what we look like? What we're all just trying to build this happy, calm, peaceful, fulfilled life at the end of the day. And if I can play like a small role in your day, whether it's 15 minutes in the morning on the mat that sets you up to be that version of you, then I feel successful.
I think it's a bigger role than you think. Like you say, it's a small role, but like for me, those morning workouts are like my routine. So it actually is a bigger role for people than you actually think. Obviously, there's 24 hours in a day, but you devote, like, even like, you know, my favourite is the 20-minute deep blow. That's the one.
No, that's your go-to.
That's the one that I always go back to. You probably, like, I've had 5 studios since then. Why are you still there? That was the original, but I'm an OG. I love that one.
I love it.
But it really does. And I think when you become that, you become part of someone's routine, it is such a big deal, particularly when everybody's busy and you've got, time is precious. Like it really is a big deal. When you realise the scale of this Zoom, and like you say, this challenge, there's 500 people, they're paying £200 for the month. Like, okay, we've now we've unlocked a different financial bracket on probably what you saw possible at the time.
Definitely.
What happened to you then? Because this is now something that you love, a job that you feel really confident in, that you're sort of striving in, but also you're unlocking this sort of gap that particularly people in the UK, there hadn't really been a person doing it in that same way, with these kind of shiny challenges and like making them feel like this club that you want to be part of. How does then the business part of Bryony's brain then sort of activate? Because this is now more than a passion and something that you're feeling comfortable in. This is like, we've got a really good business model here. How do we then build on this?
Well, I actually think my customers gave me that, because at the end of the January challenge, I had no plan. I was like, this is, you know, like this was my focus. It was taking all my time up. I had no time to think about what's next. And it was never for financial result that we did get. It was more just like, let's go all in this month and
we're
feel
enjoying
great.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so at the end, I had messages from people being like, okay, what's the February challenge? And I was like, oh, I don't know. What is the February challenge? And I obviously had my private clients at the same time on the side. So I thought, okay, I need to do some sort of a February challenge and then, you know, keep this momentum and keep people feeling good, because there's that demand. Like, people were asking me what was next. And I almost felt, this sounds really cringe, but I felt like there was a duty. I'm like
a responsibility.
Yeah, because I thought, I'm so grateful that you've trusted me for this whole month. What, am I just going to leave you to it now?
I mean, then also there's the risk of doing so.
Yeah.
Means that then they find something else that they want to do in February, because if they're sort of on that journey, they want something.
Exactly. So then I did the February challenge, then I did the March challenge, and the lovely Jack will remember.
Jack's our lovely videographer, by the way. He's behind the camera.
Jack and Karis were with me through thick and thin. But I was in March. So
Which is how we know each other, because Karis was like, you have to try Bryony's Pilates.
Before your renewal.
Before we renewed our vows, yeah.
So nice. Jack and Karis are the best.
Aren't they just?
But in March, I was doing all of my private clients, and then I set myself this task. Oh, and I had a March challenge as well. And then I set myself the challenge of recording 50 classes. So we went and did, it was just carnage these days.
I can visualise this. You were in that studio with the window behind you.
Yeah, and I would do like 8 classes a day. And I was like, right, I can't really afford the space, the videographer, you know, all the costs.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, we better make this work. So I'm like, 8
Jack,
classes,
Karis,
we can do it.
Pilates for life. Help me.
So I was just in the studio doing like 8 classes, and we just got these 50 classes done. And then I, with the view of doing this app, because I thought, I can't keep doing this Zoom challenge every month. It's not sustainable. And I want a place that is cheaper, more accessible, that people can just go to at any time, rather than rely on the specific times of the challenges. So that's when the business was just naturally born from the demand. And I think that's a good kind of lesson that I look back on, is testing your audience is a really good idea. If you do have a product, is there a version of, like, we cannot be perfect, and what we put out day one versus what we have now in everyone's business, I feel like is like that.
That's the best advice ever. Michelle Kennedy, who founded Peanut, who like has one of the most successful apps for mothers and parents. And
I'll be downloading.
It's brilliant. It's so brilliant. And hers sort of started, it was known in the US before making its way here. But she says something so interesting. She's so big in tech, and she, like, for example, if you'd have decided, okay, I'm now trained in Pilates, I'm going to have an app. Yeah. That would be the wrong route. Like, you've organically tested it on a community and it served them in the right way. But if your goal is to have an app, she says, test it, start a WhatsApp group, invite people for dinner. Are they going to come back again? Do they engage with the group? Like, there's this idea that you've got to have this shiny product from the jump, but it takes a lot of money, a lot of investment, and to do that without having tested it in different settings first. So you almost did that without knowing that was the right move at the time, I suppose.
I had no idea that was even a move. You know, I was just putting one foot in front of the other and trying to just stay afloat and do what I love. But I think that's such a good piece of advice now looking back, is definitely test your audience and all the things that go wrong along the way, because there will be so many things and there are all daily things that go wrong. The thing is that if you're able to take one, it sounds cliche, but one learning from it, it will only allow you to perfect and tweak your product for next time. So as long as you are learning, as long as you're able to move on quickly and be resilient, because I don't think there's any point dwelling in what
fell fast.
Just
keep moving.
Exactly.
It's true.
And just keep going. And then the more learnings you have along the way, and they're not really failures, they are learnings, it's this, I think it was the CEO of Spotify or Shopify, said failure is just the discovery of something that didn't work.
So true.
So I love that. And I think as long as you can take something from it and apply it to the next time, the next time, the next time, by the end, you will have a product that you are really proud of.
Yes, of course. And it takes that. It can't be, it is part of, it's cliche, but it is part of the journey. When you sort of decide on, I suppose, you call it a subscription, a membership model.
Yeah.
You've got live classes, the challenges are then back because you're kind of synonymous for the challenge. And how did you sort of structure how that was going to look? Because like I said, these kind of, the challenges you do are like branded so well, and you kind of make a thing of them. They're not just like, here's some classes. It's like the gifts go out, and you almost made it. And this is what when I talk about you filling that gap in the market, you really made a brand out of it. Like, it feels like a beauty brand. It feels like a clothing brand. You know, when you do what you do, you've sort of taken learnings from other brands out there and applied that to working out and wellness, which felt really, really different at the time. And I have to say, and that's because I noticed these things, a lot of people have done it since. And I
You're so sweet.
Yeah, but that's how you know you're onto the right thing. And I remember back in the day talking to Caris, and Caris is a photographer, by the way. Just, I feel like I should explain this to our
She's the
listeners,
best.
that I've worked with for like probably longer than she would like. I was like, Caris, you like me the best.
Same.
Please come and do this. But for many, many, many years, pretty much since I left the group. And I remember that you guys were trying to find that studio that was like a cheap enough studio that you could use at the time, and then it was really bright and it looked the way it did. But then I found it. So I remember being with her one day, and she said, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe I was on a shoot yesterday at the same studio," and they'd said that other Pilates instructors had tried to book the same space because this was the thing that everybody was doing now. And I'm like, well, no, it's Bryony's thing. But you know that you're onto something quickly when people, that was just a great story. You found this amazing studio and it looked great and it was bright and you filmed all of your classes in it. But actually it becomes such a trend for other instructors that they were trying to book the same space, which is so, so interesting.
But that's such a compliment. And at the end of the day, I just love seeing so many of our community members train and become teachers.
That's so empowering.
I love that. I think that's at the end of the day, firstly, everyone, a teacher that you warm to, not everyone will warm to me, you know, like it's a certain personality. And I think you really got to gel with your teacher. You've got to enjoy listening to their voice, you know, small things like that. And what's for one is not for another person.
Yes.
So there's space for everyone. But I think as a teacher, it's such a compliment to hear that you've inspired someone else to be a teacher. So I love that. And the challenges, the kind of core of our business is interesting, because I just did an interview this morning as we're just growing our team, and someone asked, what's the what would you say is the core of the business? And I would say that it's our community and our challenges. And the challenges are created for the community to keep that fun and that motivation, and almost to create mini brands each month, and to create that kind of like,
was that really excitement?
And just to make it like feel so good at the end of the day. It doesn't need to be this perfect strict routine where you're wearing, you know, we do it in our pajamas. I was laughing just telling Rochelle that I took a picture this morning of my mat set up in my pajamas, and I'm pregnant at the moment, so my foot was so swollen in the picture. I was like, oh, okay, tuck my foot under. But yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of it.
So you touched on then about interviewing and growing the team and scaling that. Like, how, because I feel like I've witnessed lots of chapters of this scaling, and it's sort of happening, you know, slowly but fast at the same time, if you know what I mean. As in, like, I can really feel when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, last year, if you actually, before I was sort of getting my notes together, not that I really needed a bunch of notes, I've barely looked at the whole time, this morning, it's actually the difference year on year is quite obvious to see, and like how it's grown, and even like as an app user myself, like how elevated the app is now. How do you find scaling as you go, and how much of a sort of conscious decision is that, or are you doing it as always, as it started with the sort of user?
So I would say my approach to scaling is probably not the typical approach in terms of acquisition. I don't think about acquisition. I think about retention.
Right.
And through retention, we are scaling, and we're having, meetings with our community members. So I will get on Zoom with 100 of our community members saying, hey guys, like, what would you want more from the app? Like, what could I give you that will help you? What can we do? Whether it's nutrition, a food plan, or meditation, like, what more do you want? And they're just the best. Like they inspire me so much. Like, they give me so many tips, so many kind of insights into their user mind, if that makes sense.
And their experience on the app. Yeah.
So I think through our we just really value our current users, and we want to make it the best for them. And I think that in turn is scaling the business, because you know what it's like. Like, if I tell you, well, if you tell me something, I'm like, right, I'm doing it. And
vice versa. Yeah, of course.
You're just like, you're so kind of invested in your friends, and you trust them. So word of mouth is kind of the best. It will
always be the best. It will always be the best. And the app is obviously offers so much more than it originally started with, which is so incredible. It's not just a Pilates app; it's a whole wellness hub now. Oh. And how important was that to you to make it really sort of, I suppose, really lifestyle?
Thank you for saying that. Well, it is really important because it is a 360, and although the classes, I'm so passionate about giving you these physical results, because I'm so conscious that you've got 20 minutes that morning. I'm going to make every minute count to the point where if you sneeze later on, you're going to feel it in your abs.
We do, girl. Sometimes I'm like, why does she do that to me today?
But I think you can make you can have an hour in the gym and not make it an effective hour, and you have breaks and you go on your phone and whatever. You can have 20 minutes of a short, sharp, efficient movement that will change your body. So I am passionate about that, but I really do think it is an inside job. And I think this whole approach to wellness is a 360 thing. It's sleep, it's nutrition, it's sound baths, breath work, meditation. And I think what I'm most passionate about, and our mission for the company, is to create inner confidence and transformation. And that does not come from one thing. That comes from a few things. And we just want to make it a one-stop shop for that. And I also think, sorry to cut you, but I think what's such a barrier to so many people, and I can really relate to that, is going into a gym when you're on your confidence journey is super intimidating.
So intimidating.
Oh my gosh. When you think, like the weight rack and
how
all.
How do I even use this? How do I even
You just feel so silly. And I think if I can help you build your confidence in the comfort of your own home, with, your hair like a pineapple on top of your head, in your pajamas, kids running around, like just living your life and, making it fit in, then when you kind of almost like unleash into the world.
You've got a different level of confidence.
Because I think it's hard to build your confidence in public.
Yeah, when you feel like, is everybody looking at me? Am I being judged? I don't even know what I'm doing myself here.
Exactly.
And it's quite, it's definitely out of most people's comfort zone, I think. Even now, I'm like, a gym isn't my favourite place to hang.
No.
Like, I need to be told where I should be and what I'm doing, and not just like out in the wild.
You just feel quite exposed. So I think it should just be a moment for you.
Touching on growth, your team, I suppose for you, it's almost very important to keep, and I found this with myself, I manage myself, but now I've merged with William Morris, so WME, for sort of like having that bigger partner, because for me it's really important that my team always stays small, because I think it really dilutes the messaging, and it dilutes me as a brand, as a person. And I think and I found it before, when I'm part of a massive company, things can get lost, and I wouldn't never do that, or it's very important that everybody knows me personally. So with you, I'd imagine it's the same thing. So scaling the business, you would need a bigger team, but you almost want to make sure that it stays small at the same time. So how does the team look now? How many of you are there, and what does everybody do? How does that now look?
Well, just before I go into kind of the team setup, I do think you don't need a big team to scale you don't need to grow your team to scale your business. I actually think less is more.
I'm so with you. My little Coco's a tiny team. We lean on back ends of of bigger companies.
Exactly.
But I think that's what keeps the DNA to me of a brand.
Definitely. And having that kind of tight knit family thing, like for example, on Friday we do something for the community, and then we do something for our influencers that are part of the community and stuff. And so my dad was the delivery driver.
Oh my God, she came here. She sent me a picture of him when he was on the way, and it's so cute. I can't.
Oh my God.
And was it him that drew on it? Because it said Rochelle and a love heart. I'm hoping it was your dad.
It was actually Marine. Bless.
No.
This is the thing about the team is like Marine, she's incredible. She's now our brand manager, and she's come over from, I met her through working with Dior.
Oh, amazing.
And she's just incredible, and she is in the car all day with my dad. That's not a normal job situation.
No.
But it's that family environment that I always want to keep. So I don't want to change that. I'm not interested in having like a team of 100
staff.
Not at all.
I'm so with you,
because I think it takes me away from what I love, and also, like you say, it can dilute. And also nowadays, I don't think it's definitely in what we do, I don't think it's necessary. We are a team of kind of full time, I think there's 5 of us. This is my baby brain.
That's fine.
6 including me, I think it is. And then we rely on a lot of freelancers as well, which I love. And I love to do projects with those freelancers, and they for that time are really involved in our team.
And then also keeps it fresh, because you get sort of a different set of eyes on stuff if you use a different person,
I love that.
Which is always nice.
One of my friends, actually, she really inspired me. She has a huge app and an amazing business, and she has a team of 3.
Yeah.
And she's like, I have no intention of growing that team. And her
honestly,
business
I'm
is,
so for this.
Yeah. So,
I'm like, I love it. And that is, it becomes a family. And you don't ever want to put too much pressure on everybody that's a part of your business, that we're like, we are a family, you can't leave me. But also don't.
But please don't.
But that is then really how it feels. And to me, that's really important. I wondered, because obviously you're pregnant, and I'm so excited about this. I wonder for you, I had Jo Malone on the podcast, and she is like, I wouldn't change a thing, because, and including her battle with cancer, she was like, I wouldn't change a thing, because everything has taught her a different lesson and made her a different person. And I asked her, because obviously she sold Jo Malone London.
Yeah.
But it's her name. So there's kind of loads of different like T's and C's as to, I think she can't hold a bottle of perfume and say, introduce herself as Jo Malone.
Yeah.
It's all kind of quite intricate, because she was like, in hindsight, like if I was going to Jo for advice tomorrow, would she say to have her name in the brand?
Yeah.
Maybe not, but she wouldn't change a thing for her. Whilst you're pregnant, have you felt, because I know how hard you've been working, have you felt an extra pressure because, Pilates by Bryony, I want you, girl. I want you. So has that given you sort of an extra level of pressure? I know that you've worked with some great instructors too, and it's kind of, that's another side, another string to your bow that you can offer that. But have you felt a level of pressure that's like, okay, I have a duty here because this is me? And would you change any part of that?
I think that's a really good question. And yes, I have felt a lot of pressure, and I've not found pregnancy the easiest thing. And I think everyone, you feel you need to caveat that with saying, I'm so incredibly grateful.
That goes without saying.
And being a mum has been one of my dreams in life. I can't wait until we have our baby.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean pregnancy's easy.
But exactly. And you're very conflicted, because you feel so grateful that you're able to be pregnant and, carry this baby. But at the same time, you're just, it is difficult, and your body is tested. It's like a marathon. And one thing I'm very happy about is the fact that we were so lucky to get pregnant quite soon after getting married. So I felt like I was in this like very strong physical shape beforehand.
Yeah.
So I do feel like if you're listening and you're thinking about getting pregnant, get in the best shape of your life before pregnancy, because it is a marathon.
Yeah, it is. And
It's
like,
not a sprint, sadly.
it's a really slow marathon,
Yeah.
guys.
And you're
You know,
kind
the
of
one
walking.
that finishes last
Yeah.
looks a little like that.
Yeah.
With the heavy costume.
Yeah. So it's
not
hard,
easy.
but at the same time, what I've really appreciated is the creativity it's forced me into having.
Yes.
So, like, for example, I've, done we did a challenge in September called Strongest You, and we had a strength trainer on there. So that was amazing. And now we're launching the Jess Hunt challenge on Monday, which is so exciting. And I've had to batch record, like 4 challenges in one. And I did our hardest challenge we've ever done, the 6-week Transform 6. I was in my first trimester, so incredibly sick, waking up at 6:30 doing the 45-minute advanced classes.
Oh, yeah.
But what it's taught me is firstly creativity, because you just have to pull from the depths of your soul and just do what you want. You can do it, you have it in you. But also it's taught me resilience, I think. Just I looked like a crazy person dancing to myself in my bathroom to like some like song to try and hype myself before these classes, and I'd honestly have like vomit in my mouth. But it's our most popular challenge, so it just you have to dig deep, guys.
Do you know what's so interesting? You're right, and I think I'm always envious of your job, because I think when I'm super busy, the kids are everywhere, work is on my plate. Sadly for me, and it shouldn't be, that's where I need to dig deep. Pilates and working out and taking time for myself is the first thing to go.
Of course, because you
I
feel
haven't
it's
got time,
selfish.
I've got to rush here, I've got to do that. Everyone needs me.
Yeah.
But actually, that's where I should go. No, get up an hour earlier today.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need this. Because it's like, and I'm sort of in that at the minute where I've been so consistent that it is a non-negotiable. And I think that's when I feel my best. And I'm like, I should know. I'm 36 years old. At this point, I'm going to feel better. Those tough days will be made easier if I've taken that time for myself. But that's when I look at and I think, oh my God, I wish I had Bryony's job, because that is her work and she has to do that. But then equally, when you're only pregnant,
you always have to do it.
I didn't have to take an advanced class. So it's kind of, it's a blessing and a tiny curse sometimes, I suppose.
I mean, look, 99.9% of the time is the luckiest, best job in the world. And then there are times where you have like coronavirus and you're doing a 45-minute live or you're pregnant or whatever, when you think, oh, I could just do with an hour extra.
And I suppose just being ill in general, like when you are literally the picture of health, and that is like what people are paying you to be, at the same time it's that added pressure.
Exactly. But at the same time, there's a lot of other people out there doing way more like taxing mentally, physically jobs, and so I'm very exactly. So I'm always very aware of that. So I'm very grateful that I'm able to use my work time for also wellness, which is incredible.
And it's
but
escapism,
as you said, exactly, and as you said, it's often the first thing that you let kind of like fall off, especially as a mum, like as you have 3 kids, you know, running all these successful businesses, you almost feel like that wellness time is selfish. But I promise you guys, it is the most effective, productive thing that you can do, even just 20 minutes in the morning. And also it sets you up for success.
I did a video of this on Instagram the other day, because people were like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said it. It's physically impossible.
Yeah.
And I say this as someone with 1,000 jobs and a mum of 3. And yes, I'm fortunate enough. It takes a village. I do have help. But it is physically impossible to fill up everyone else's glasses if yours is on low. Yeah. So you have to sort of fill yours up so you can pour yourself into everybody else and everything else.
Totally.
And without sort of recharging your own batteries, it's just impossible.
Yeah, you really have to lean on those things. I'll just tell you a funny story the other day. Casper, before I was pregnant, saw me cry 3 times, and now it is 3 times a week at least. And so the other day I was having, honestly, the biggest just hormonal moment breakdown. He walked in and I was lying on the floor with my dog, just stretching out my back, and he was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Oh," you know, when something sets you off. And he said to me, he was like, "Yeah, but you know, practice what you preach in these moments. Like, don't fight it. Sit there." And he's so sweet, and it actually really made me laugh because he did an impression of what I should do and stuff, and he was being so serious. But he sat down and he said, "Just sit there, meditate, and tell that inner voice, you know what? Fuck you. I have all the time in the world for you to come and then go. I'm just going to let you pass." And I was like, do you know what? It was so funny in his accent, the way he said it. And he was sat there meditating, like it was just so funny. But it's so true. Yeah. And I think like giving yourself that time sometimes to just reset, then you can go on.
Absolutely that. And that Dior, who is my life coach, says it in probably a bit more of an articulate way than fuck you, but I do like that. We need a bit of that sometimes. And she basically says, like, acknowledge it. So, like, if you're like, I'm really stressed, I've got a lump in my throat. Yeah. Acknowledge it, like, oh, I'm not having a great day, I've got a tight chest today, or I've got a bit of a knot in my tummy. But, like, acknowledge it. You don't have to try and problem solve necessarily in that, because I'm that person, I'm like, I've got this, it's because I need to sort this out. And I start sort of going into overdrive, which is such a toxic trait of mine. That actually just acknowledge that it's there, it's with you all day, it will go, but you you can't sort of try and fight against it sometimes, because we try to stop those feelings, don't we? Well, I do, because I'm like, I need to feel good. But actually just acknowledging it and like living with it and letting it pass. Yeah, and this sounds a really cheesy thing to say, but sometimes I think about these thoughts and emotions and feelings like clouds, and they like, it's a cloudy day, let's say, but tomorrow might be a sunny day. Absolutely. So that cloud will be there for a while, but it might start to ease off. It might start to pass like in the afternoon. It might linger, but just knowing that at some point it will pass. And we have no control over that. So like, but we don't sort of stay inside and say, well, it might keep raining all week and not go anywhere. Like, you know, like we have no control. And sometimes you don't have control over what's happening. But it will. Yeah. Sometimes writing as well. Really can just help to take you out of that. I want to talk about what's next for you. What's sort of next for the app? Is it more international growth? Because I know that your kind of business is split into different territories. Like, how does it look? And what does now scaling look like to you? And or is it scaling? Like, what is next for the app? And what do you kind of, if you were back in that seat in like a year or two, what would you want to say has been the kind of next couple of years that you've had? So I would definitely say, even though we're a digital business, I would say creating more in-person connection is a big focus for us. So whether that be through pop-ups, walks, classes, I really want our community to meet each other as much as possible. So all over the world. So that's a big focus for us. And obviously I'm having a baby soon, so that's quite a big moment. Huge. Yeah, we've really kind of built the pre-postnatal universe on the app as well, which has been really interesting doing it in real time. And I'm really looking forward to that postpartum transformation, because I am going to be on it, guys. I can't wait to move properly again and really just, you know, even though of course you're able to do Pilates, but I'm excited for teasers and all those things. Yeah, all the things that you could do before having a ball. Exactly. Yeah. So that is a big focus. So a lot more international in-person connection. Nice. Yeah. So would that look like you do those, you know, you do retreats sometimes? Exactly. And you do the kind of days where everybody gets together and you do those live classes. Yeah. For the community. Yeah. Incredible. So I'm really looking forward to that, and that will be all over the world. That I have so much travel coming up next year, which I can't wait for. So yeah, I think that will be a big little focus. One in tow. I know. You better start packing now. Lucky Casper is kind of like, we're in different life phases, because I'm like, thanks, stay-at-home dad. Come with me. Come with me. But that's so nice, and you'll get to travel together as a little family, which is lovely. Exactly. I want to do our rocket round now. Ooh. So this is quick fire.
Okay.
It's supposed to be. That's the idea.
Oh, God.
It never is that quick, is it? The boys look at me every time and they're like, "It's
I'm
not
the
gonna
most
be quick fire."
long-winded, slow
We try.
talking
We
person.
try. Right. First question is: what do you believe are the non-negotiables for running a business?
Oh, okay. I would say resilience, the ability to move on very quickly. That is important. Not be stuck in your
Yes.
mistakes and
yeah.
whatever. I would say definitely test your audience through some way. For me, it was Zoom. Test your community, really embrace your community. And then the third one, non-negotiable for running a business. I would say keep growing and learning as an individual. Don't just focus on the day-to-day. Like sometimes zoom out and think, okay, how can I move myself 10x rather than just doing the 2x. There's a book about 10x versus 2x. So I think zoom out and say, what will help me make a big difference rather than just responding and being proactive to the day-to-day. So I think that helps really growing as an individual.
Working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
At what moment did you first realise that you truly launched?
Ooh. I genuinely don't think I've launched. But I just think...
Sorry, what?
I think, I mean, you have such incredible guests and I'm like...
Are you joking?
You know, I don't think I'm like I wouldn't say I'm up there in space, you know.
But do you know what? It's so interesting. Every good entrepreneur, I mean... There'll be a little moment there where they're like, when my mum said she saw this or something that just lands a little different. But everyone is in pretty much the same vein. They're like, I've still got stuff I want to do. I don't feel like I've sort of
and I think
had lift off just
if you
yet.
thought you had, then maybe, I don't know, that would be at the point where you were just ready to kind of just stop. And I'm not there yet. But one, like moments that make me feel fulfilled and successful are when I get letters from people. Or DM saying that they've been on the app for X amount of time and I've changed their life. That for me is genuinely the best thing ever.
Yeah, what a feeling.
Yeah.
What is the first thing you do when you wake up and the last thing you do before you go to bed? Now, you're my probably dream guest to ask this to.
Oh, God.
Because most people say, oh, God, I'm a founder, I'm a CEO, I look at my phone, and I wish I didn't say I look at my phone, but I do. I feel like yours is going to be the goals. I feel like you're going to set the benchmark.
Well, no pressure. So I obviously do the obvious. My dog sleeps in the bed with us, which is not the best. Pregnancy pillow, dog, all the things.
It'll be a baby soon.
So I exactly give him a cuddle. The second I get out of bed, our dog goes in and snuggles into my pregnancy pillow. He's like, thank God, she's out. Yeah. I also tongue scrape.
Oh.
Yeah, I tongue scrape.
We've never had this. I'm into it.
Okay, good. I feel like that's
good.
Okay, so I tongue scrape every single morning, which I just feel detoxes, cleanses. I dry brush my face. That is a really incredible thing to do. I mean, you can buy a dry brush for your face on Amazon.
On Amazon, yeah.
Anyway, I do all my skincare and everything. I ice roll every morning, and
that's one thing I think about. I know. I feel like every morning. What's Bryony doing right now? She's
probably ice rolling. If in doubt. There are just staples. And then also I read the daily lesson from the Daily Stoic every single day. And quite often I'll post it. I think it kind of just sets you into like a thinking mindset for the day. And then one thing I've changed, of course I do Pilates, of course I do my meditation, journaling, all those things, which you expect me to say. But I've actually flipped it. I used to have a matcha first thing. Now I have my breakfast first thing because I feel really like it's made a difference to my hormones. So I'll eat within like half an hour of waking up.
And is that during pregnancy or also pre-pregnancy?
Pre-pregnancy as well, but I'm eating all the time
during
pregnancy. Yeah, exactly. There's no differentiation throughout the day.
Okay,
but
that's
so I'll do breakfast and like my water with electrolytes or whatever. Then I'll do the kind of morning routine, as in I'll do a meditation moment or breathwork moment. Then I'll do Pilates, finish with some journaling, and then I'll have my matcha as my reward. Or sometimes I'll even try, if I can, go on a walk and then have the matcha.
Yes.
But kind of those are my staples, and sometimes that slightly moves around. But the thing that I've introduced is the breakfast first, and I think
interesting.
if you're struggling with hormone health, that's a really good place to start.
That's really interesting. Is there a piece of advice that you wish that you hadn't listened to?
Oh, I think when people tell you to play it safe, and I think also like our parents' kind of era was definitely like, you know, stay in your comfort zone, you know, play it safe, don't take too many risks. I think that's a bad piece of advice, because you will just find yourself being stuck, whether you're in a job and you want to leave, or whether you have your own business, or, you know, in your relationship. I think it's always good to grow and push the boundaries and see where you can get to, and set yourself daily challenges, weekly challenges, monthly challenges. That's how you will build your confidence.
Yeah. You're
Sorry,
so
I'm
right.
so not quick on this.
You're so right, because you, like you say, like, whether you're, either way you need to be moving, whether you've fallen off and you're moving backwards, or whether you're moving forwards, but being stuck in the same place isn't necessarily positive. What's a skill that you'd love to learn?
Ooh, I'm very into cooking at the moment, so I think maybe go deeper on that. But I would say I did A-level Spanish, and I really love Spanish. So I want to have a house in Mallorca one day. So I want to be fluent Spanish one day.
Oh, by the time you're there.
Yeah.
With your Chris,
I guess
so
I also
gorgeous.
need to be fluent Danish, because our baby's going to speak Danish.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise they'll be talking about you, and you don't
I
know
know,
what they're saying.
Casper doesn't want, he's like, I want a secret language with our baby.
Well, my best friend Gemma lives in Paris.
Yes.
And her son speaks French, and she goes to French school.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, she goes to French school once a week. I mean, I was with her at the weekend. I'm not sure that
Patrick,
we went to Pilates together, and she was also translating for Gemma. So I'm not sure how well this is going. She's been there 2 years. But her husband and her son, she was like, they talk about me. Yeah. And it's so annoying. And she goes, I pretend that I understand them because I know that they're talking about me, and I say, oi.
Yeah.
She's like, but I've got no
But they're
clue.
saying something really nice, and she's like, what do you mean? Yeah.
So yeah, that's always one thing to remember as they get older. They're like, don't worry, I'll just handle this with my dad.
Yeah, exactly. I have to bribe them to not do it.
What's one thing that you wish someone had told you before you started your career?
Oh, that's a really hard question. One thing I wish someone had told me. It's hard, because I don't feel like I feel like that almost comes with regret.
Yeah.
One thing I do appreciate about Casper is that he's made me think a lot bigger than I ever have before.
Wow.
So I appreciate that, and I almost wish I had that before.
Thought bigger at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it does happen. I think everybody's upbringing is so different, and like I'm the same. Like being risk averse is like it's like in your DNA. It becomes a bit of a personality trait, doesn't it? Like, oh, I don't know if I should do that, because what if?
Yeah,
but actually, if you flip that what if, it's really exciting on the other side.
I know, and it's interesting because I feel like he's always had that. Like he never questioned anything.
That's so interesting.
Even day one. Whereas I was not wired like that, so he's kind of instilled that in me, which is nice.
Level of confidence. We've just seen that you did the challenge with Jess Hunt, which just looks incredible.
Oh my god! Can't wait for you to do it.
What would be? We always ask what would be the dream collab for the brand. Obviously, you've just had a really good one, but not necessarily a person. Could be like a brand on brand collab.
Dream collaboration. Okay, I'll start with brand on brand. I think something to do with travel would be a good one.
Yeah.
I love what I am able to do with Dior, which is incredible, but it's also very, exclusive. I would love to be able to do something like that, which is more accessible.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So something along the lines of travel.
Or like an airline or something.
An airline would be amazing. A hotel chain.
Yeah.
or like a travel company, and where we could just do like 360 wellness all together. It would be amazing. And then in terms of a person, there are so many people.
Who would be your dream? Like if you sort of opened your Instagram and you'd seen that you've been notified by this person, what would make you go, ooh?
I think, well, firstly, there's loads of people, obviously, that inspire me. But I actually think Alex Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
Because
she's great.
Did you watch her documentary?
Do you know what? I've not watched it. And everybody keeps saying, have you not seen it yet? Have you not seen it yet?
Rochelle, you will be so inspired.
I think she's incredible anyway.
She's incredible.
Do you know what, I'm going to do that tonight.
Please do it and voice note me after. She's so good. She's so inspiring. And I think her journey is so like
the way that she come from sport and like just her
and the challenges she's had and also just how she, you know, her upbringing and her childhood, and she wasn't necessarily the most popular kid in school, and she's now like, look at her, she's so inspiring, and she really inspires me. So someone like that would be incredible.
She's cool, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's so cool. And if you could choose one female figure as a mentor, past or present, who would it be?
Oh, well, I'll say one that's not so hard, because she is my mentor, my mum. She's incredible. And then in terms of kind of a public figure, oh God,
we have had everybody on this podcast. As in, who else do we have? Like, mine would be Estee Lauder. Obviously, she is past, not present. But I'm kind of obsessed how she trailblazed that beauty space, and no one wanted to know her, and no one was interested. She was pitching stuff, and then she became the kind of umbrella company, after a lot of work. And
I think she's amazing. Casper actually did an internship at Estee Lauder.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
He travelled the world with Estee Lauder, which
so
is
incredible.
really random, but he also was so inspired.
Yeah.
There's so many people. Honestly, there's so many that come to mind, like Bethany Frankel. I love.
I saw her in Paris. She was there again.
Oh, God. The way she walked down that catwalk in Paris, but also Miami Swim Week was amazing. Obviously, Emma Grede is incredible.
Yes, she is.
And then you have, oh God, I'm going blank. There's so many people that inspire me.
Like, if you could I'd love to be able to get a coffee with that person to pick their brains, who would it be?
Can I say male, one female?
Absolutely.
Okay, so one male would be Mo Gaudat, who came on my podcast, and he is like a real rare combination of being very spiritual and thoughtful, and he's been through so much in his life, but also has done the most incredible things with business. And he's just the best. He's such a nice person.
He seems like the kindest.
He's
he's
so
got like
pure.
really kind eyes.
And the voice as well, so soothing. If I was having a stressful day, just call Mo.
Call him. Get him on speed dial.
So I'd say Mo. And then I would say Louise Hay, who is past.
Right.
So Louise Hay has written books called You Can Change Your Mind, You Can Change Your Body, You Can Change Your Life.
Right.
I think that's or it might be Change Your Mind. But yeah, you can heal.
Right.
You can heal your mind, you can heal your body, you can heal your life. And those books really got me through like a dark point in my life. And I feel she is just unbelievable. If you haven't read any Louise Hay, you will love. It's kind of a combination, and she's such a powerhouse, but it's kind of a combination of like The Secret, Mel Robbins,
up my street,
Gabby Bernstein, but also with that like real rooted wisdom of like kind of a mum energy. Amazing books.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
We like that. We do a little book club on the podcast.
Oh,
So
there you go. There's my next answer.
We'll add those in. And then I get every guest to leave a tip. Almost one piece of tangible advice. If a listener is listening today and they think, do you know what, I would love to kind of launch a business in the same sort of vein as you and are really inspired by your story, what would be one piece of advice that you think that they would need to know before starting?
I would say set yourself daily challenges.
Oh.
Because if you don't do something every day that kind of makes you a bit nervous or moves the needle in some way, you're going to be stuck. And I think it's quite a good challenge in itself to say, okay, what am I doing today that slightly makes me nervous or scares me or is out of my comfort zone?
Yes.
Because before you know it, imagine you do one small thing every day. I really think it has an accumulative effect and a compound effect of changing your life.
That's so interesting. And it's so true. It's like the book we love, Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
And if you've not read that, I mean, I've told
Really
you a billion
good
times,
book.
but read it. It's such, particularly if you're in that sort of mindset of wanting to be consistent.
Definitely.
It can just be small. It's the small wins. But if you've done something every day for a year, think how far that will take you.
There's another book called The Power of One More, which is really good. Yeah.
And then lastly, we talk about ladies who launch, but we also like ladies who lunch.
Oh.
So when it comes to a lunch hour, how does it look for you? Sometimes I have women sit in this chair and they're like, a lunch hour, what is that? Or on the flip side, some people really kind of strict with those boundaries that we stop for lunch, go out for walk, however that looks. How do you spend lunch? Where are you and what are you eating?
So some days I'll be eating at my desk. Some days I will do like a little lunch date with Casper to try and convince him that we don't have to go out for dinner. Or some days I'll do a working lunch out with the team. So, but if I was at my desk at the moment, I'm obsessed with like real hearty soups.
Oh, yeah, I've
So-
always had that obsession. That's my
God,
thing.
and like using like butter beans, and there's lots of soup recipes on my app at the moment because that's
tell
my
what she's
pregnancy craving. Yeah, or
So guess what,
ramen.
you're all having soup.
You've all got a lot of ramen on the app at the moment. So yeah, I'm really in my soup era.
This is what Marv says to me. He was like, oh, we know when mummy's on a health kit because the fridge is like,
Yeah.
ta-da!
And they're all like, no.
This is not what we want this week, not another soup.
Yeah, exactly. But I definitely always eat lunch. I always eat 3 meals a day without fail. I never skip.
So that is a
I
non-negotiable.
prioritize 100%. I think you need to fuel your body.
And if you were going to take the team out for like a rewarding lunch after a great month, where would you go?
We're talking London.
Wherever, really.
You know where I went the other day in London, which was incredible? Le Café Nac.
Oh, no.
You have to go there, guys. It was so good. Get the pasta, get the Asian salad, and the turkey club sandwich.
Oh, wow. Gosh,
Very
you're pregnant,
specific.
aren't you?
I know. We could have done 2 hours just about food right now.
Pickles.
Yeah, pickles. Had those last night.
It was when I was like, oh gosh, she's pregnant. Is when it was like random mince craving, just bowls of mince, chicken sausages.
You knew. I feel like you were one of the first people.
Girl. Thank you so much. It's been so good to see. I know that we're friends, but there's lots of information I didn't know. I didn't know that you had a beauty salon in your house. So it's been so nice to deep dive into you and what you do, and I'm so proud of you and knowing you and seeing how far that you've come and how.
Well, you've been such a big part of my journey, so
gosh.
Thank you. I won't cry, but I could cry at the drop of a hat at the moment. But I also wanted to just say that and acknowledge that you've been such a big part of my journey, and now we have our own business together, which is amazing.
Which, guys, you're going to get a bonus episode
Ooh.
all about that, which is very
I know,
exciting.
we had to hold it in this episode.
Don't mention matcha just yet.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Loved it. Yay! Don't forget to follow us on Apple and Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts to make sure that you don't miss out, because next time we're going to be joined by another incredible lady who launched. If, like me, you're a watcher, then please follow us on YouTube and don't forget to like and subscribe.